What's good with my people, man? You know what I'm saying? It's your boy, the real E-Leezy. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Thought I'd give y'all, you know what I mean, a little bit of content since I started this shit, man. You feel me? But I just want to talk about the Daunting challenges, man. They're trying to win the quest to win ring number 5. You feel me? Who's better positioned to accomplish that feat? Steph Curry or LeBron James? Simple as that. We know that the Lakers made a deadline deal. They traded Anthony Davis, which he helped win a bubble ring for the Lakers. A lot of people, you know, had their opinions about their tenure together and was it a success? Was it a failure? You know what I'm saying? Did they need more time? Did they need more, surrounding pieces? But that's not salute, bro. Hey, here, salute to all my people. Like, share, subscribe. Luka Doncic is now Los Angeles Lakers star. He's gonna put fans in the seats. Slovenia. Is it Slovenia? Is that where he's from, or Lithuania? Which one? Is it Slovenia or Lithuania? Somebody help me in the chat. We know that he's going to draw, that fan base on an international scale. And then he has, a fan base that's over here in the States as well, based off of everything that he's accomplished already in his short time being in the league, 6-7 years, whatever it is. So the Lakers have LeBron, they got Luka, and now the emergence of one Austin Reeves, who I feel is just benefiting from playing with those players and getting the grace of the whistle, in my opinion. But I don't believe that he's an X factor on that team. He's not really great defensively. And when the cause isn't really going their way, I don't think that the Lakers are really that good when they're not getting the calls. So we'll see. We know that LeBron is a statue at times. We know that Luka is a statue at times. It's really hard to expect a 40-year-old basketball player with 22 years of experience to play both ends of the court. It just is what it is. But if he can accumulate his numbers offensively, then I'm going to hold him to a higher standard. I believe since you're the only one that can beat Father of Time, I believe that you can give 110% on the defensive end. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you might have to sacrifice some of your stats just to, help the helper a little bit more or give a little bit extra energy on that side of the ball. If you want to win, it's easy to surround your teams and surround your stars with great individual defenders and team defenders. It's less work that the star players have to, garnish. It's less work that the star players have to warrant. You know what I'm saying? Less responsibility defensively on their end. If they feel like, oh, I got really great defenders that can kind of hide some of my deficiencies on that end of the floor, that's a cop-out in my opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? I respect players that's going to get it done on both ends of the floor. That's just me. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have those same expectations as I do. So that's just what it is. But the Lakers in totality, I don't believe that they can get it done. I don't think that they're that well of a basketball team. First year head coach, year 22. Luka just coming off a championship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Him changing teams and trying to figure out the roster and build that chemistry and camaraderie with a team. And you have a whole new system. You got new assistant coaches. So everything is new. Have they exceeded expectation? I don't know if they have exceeded expectation because the Lakers were around this same type of team last year under Darvin Ham. They were a playoff team last year. I think a number 6 seed, if someone can correct me, I think the Lakers were a 6 seed last year, right? Right now, they're still teetering around that it's anything can happen in this next couple 2.5, 3 weeks of the season that's left. You know what I'm saying? They can still fall in the standings, and they can possibly fall back to that number 6 seed. And you're looking at it like, well, did it really get better from last year to this year? I can't really say that they did. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, only time will tell. Anything can happen in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We've seen weirder and stranger shit happen when it comes to LeBron James-led teams. And the NBA as a whole. We've seen teams all of a sudden have injuries the last week of the season and limp into the playoffs. And now you got a full-strength, healthy team versus a team that's missing, some of their key role players or maybe even a star player. And now, you know what I'm saying? It's easy for you to get by. You know what I'm saying? Sort of kind of like how it was 22. We count the rings. We have to count them, even though we can sit here and always nitpick and say, oh man, they makes this team healthy. The Denver didn't have Jamal Murray. Dallas, they was, you know what I'm saying, young and inexperienced or whatever the case may be with them. And you know how that go. And then Memphis, Ja Morant got injured. Ja Morant owns Steph Curry, so it's a whole bunch of different narratives. And then when you go to the finals, oh man, Boston was injured. No Robert Williams. And da-da-da-da-da. But if you look at it, that still doesn't take away from the fact that Boston had a 2-1 lead with game 4 on their floor, in which they held a lead of double digits in that game early. So that doesn't take away from the fact that you still got to go out there and win the game. You still got to go out there and compete no matter who's on the floor. That's part of sports. Injuries happen. Injuries occur. We can always do the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And it's always going to be like that, you know what I'm saying? Even back then, even to now, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. It's unfortunate, but that's just life, bro. That's just how it works in sports. It's hard to really stay healthy for the whole season. We seen Jason Tatum last night go down with an ankle injury. Now, we don't know how that's going to impact Boston, even though they still got a really good team, but you're missing your top guy. You know what I'm saying? So that matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's only so much that Jaylen Brown and those other guys can do, because now you're expecting everybody else to pick up their game a little bit more. It's difficult, you know what I'm saying, to put certain players in positions to where they feel like they have to do a little bit more than what they're used to doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now you're asking everybody to increase their scoring or, you know what I'm saying, play harder defense. And I mean, it's easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players are content with what they bring to an NBA team, and they feel like, I don't have to do anymore. As long as I keep doing the things that I'm doing that has allowed them to stick in the league, they're going to keep doing it. It's like they don't want to get, a lot of the players in the NBA, they don't want to get better. It's just like, I'm here, you know what I'm saying, they're paying me this amount of money. I don't want to get better. I'm just going to be this type of guy for every roster, for every team. Sometimes you should expect more from yourself, especially as an athlete. Just as we do in real life and as human beings. Like, you know what I'm saying? You always want to elevate and get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay to have those type of standards and expectations of yourself and of your peers and others. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a commonality that we share. We have higher expectations, or you should at least. You should want to be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you should always want to get better, like, because we're always evolving and changing as individuals and as athletes. That also, you know what I'm saying, applies to the sports world too. You're evolving. You're constantly changing. Like, you know what I'm saying? How many times have we seen one player who used to score early on in their career and now they become a different type of player to where their role is a little different? You're constantly evolving and changing. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. You feel what I'm saying? So I just don't know if the Lakers have everything that they need. It's a lot of inconsistencies over there, you know what I'm saying, from my perspective. And it's just my perspective. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own perspective, their own opinions. So I mean, that's cool. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? But I'm being honest, like, and it's also about matchups too. I just believe if you're not playing your best basketball going into the playoffs, it's going to be hard for you to just hit that switch and just turn it on and be like, oh, we're just going to run through the playoffs. If you're sputtering and limping into the playoffs, and when I say limping, it's it's a figure of speech. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really mean limping as far as injury. That applies too. But when I say limping, I mean just not playing your best brand of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like you have played throughout different moments of the season. You know what I'm saying? Because every team has had a hot streak or a stretch in the season where you can be like, damn, the way they playing right now, they can make a run in the playoffs. But then all of a sudden that changes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a long season. Things happen. People get tired mentally, physically, emotionally. It's a whole bunch of different things that you know what I'm saying, that play a factor in you not being able to sustain that level of consistency and greatness, especially, you know what I'm saying, when you're going into like the playoffs. Like, you know what I'm saying? So right now, if I had to pick two teams, I like the Rockets, who just lost their first game in the like last 10 games. I like the Rockets. I like OKC, and I like the Warriors. They're playing their best basketball right now. And also the Clippers, in my opinion, they're playing their best basketball right now. I know that Houston is very, very young. I think that they can possibly make a run to the Western Conference Finals. I don't think they can get to the finals yet, but I do think that they can get to the Western Conference Finals because we've seen younger teams, you know what I'm saying, with, you know, different teams make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. When Boston was very, very young in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's rookie seasons, right? Or Jason Tatum's rookie season, we seen them make it to an Eastern Conference Finals when they went up against the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James. Do you guys not remember that? So I do believe that young teams can sort of have like quick success. I wouldn't say championship level success, but they can have quick success where they experience being in a situation where they probably never thought that they would be. You know what I'm saying? Based off of different factors. Coaching really matters. Coaching matters to a young team trying to get and accomplish things in their career, you feel me, that they probably never sought out to accomplish. So that matters. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So you have to take that into consideration. That's why I say I like Houston. They've been consistent all year. They've been consistently good. They're a top 5 defensive team. The only question mark that I have with them, they have these droughts to where their scoring droughts last for too long in a basketball game. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then that compounds, they're turning the ball over, and then they're giving up those long runs. A team go like on a 12-2 run or a 14-0 run, and like you can't have those type of situations in games, you know what I'm saying, like a playoff series where you are struggling, where you feel like you're struggling to get a basket. That's the only thing that I have with Houston. Like, but I love the makeup of their team. They got some dogs, they got some athleticism, they got some size, they got some experience and leadership. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they are gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? But it just depends on who they get in the first round. I think they can beat anybody except for maybe OKC. In my opinion, again, that's just my opinion. You feel me? But let's shift gears. The Warriors, I think they have everything that you really need. Well, I wouldn't say everything that you need because they have some inexperience and they're undersized in the front court. Quinn Post, rookie, he's getting a lot of minutes right now. He's shown some bright spots, but his ability to defend the paint, defend the high pick and roll, defend without fouling, and rebound is a concern for me. Now, his stretching the floor is big. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. But we don't know if he can be consistent over a long series. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be physical. The game is going to slow down. Execution is going to matter. Each possession is very critical. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what kind of level of play that he's going to be able to have in a playoff series because he's young. He's never been in this type of situation. But he has real good leadership as far as it comes to Jimmy Butler, you know what I'm saying, Kevon Looney, you know what I'm saying, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, obviously, because the experience of being in these situations, so they can kind of get him prepared. But the best teacher, you know what I'm saying, is experience. So he'll have to learn on the fly. You know what I mean? So we'll probably have to rely on Kevon Looney, maybe a Trace Jackson Davis. You know what I'm saying? From his experience last year, and his college experience, obviously. So that's a concern for me, because teams are gonna try to attack the Warriors on the interior. You know what I mean? But we have really good on-ball defenders. We have a lot of size. We have quickness. We have strength. We have length. You know what I mean? And we have experience, too. We know that Jimmy Butler has led teams to the finals. Those two Heat teams, he's led to the finals. He was close with the Chicago Bulls. You know what I mean? He was close. It just wasn't in the cards over here. But we've seen Jimmy Butler lead a less talented roster to the NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? A defensively challenged team, a team that was guard, like, you know what I'm saying, that was hurt by injuries. They were shorthanded, you know what I mean? They didn't really have Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo for some of those championship runs. They wasn't fully healthy. And we've seen Jimmy Butler do more with less. This time, he doesn't have to do more with less, because he has more. He can do more with the more. So just think, that's a plus. Jimmy Buckets can do more now with the more. You have more veteran leadership. You have players that's been there already, battle-tested, star power. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry, with all the attention that he can draw in the series. We've literally seen a team run a boxing one on Steph Curry. You don't run boxing one, you know what I'm saying, almost never, unless you just at a disadvantage with an untalented roster and you're going up against elite athletes and talent in their own respect, to where you're going to say, man, we got to run a boxing one because we just not that good. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of talent. We don't have a lot of size. We're not quick. So let's run a boxing one on this player to try to take this player out of the game. That's literally what Toronto did. They said, you know what? We cannot afford to let Steph Curry play one-on-one, one-on-two, or whatever, or get even good looks at the basket. I'm not mad at that D. Whatever you got to do to take the best player out of the game, that's what you do. If it hurts the ratings, so what? It's basketball. I'm not going to let you beat me. Period, point blank. That's just the way the game should be played, in my opinion. Now, if your true greatness, you know what I'm saying, kind of, overtakes, you know what I'm saying, all of that, then that just shows how great you really are as a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? But I think that with Draymond Green's being locked in this year, I know he had a lot of stuff going on last year with suspensions and all that stuff, but this year I feel that he's locked in. You know what I'm saying? I think that Jordan Poole stuff was a dark cloud over our you know what I'm saying, over our franchise for a little bit, for like you know what I'm saying, about a year, we would say. It's hard to try to forget about the things that happen. So it only takes time for things to kind of like, kind of subside and, let things play out. And, you know what I'm saying, everybody can feel comfortable with moving on. That's why you see Jordan Poole having the season that Jordan Poole was having this year. Great season for Jordan Poole, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Poole can be a real valuable asset on a championship team like he was for us in 2022. That's just what it is. But I feel like he's gotten better since 2022. You know what I'm saying? He's taking good shots. He's playing better defense, even though his defense isn't elite, but he's giving effort. He's averaging like 1 point some steals. That tells me that he's better at reading, passing lanes, getting deflections, getting his hand on balls and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's crucial. That he's just in a situation where a team doesn't care about winning. But Jordan Poole can have impact on a roster. Now, Jordan Poole was with Phoenix. Phoenix will probably be top 5 seed right now, easy. No question about it. You add a player of that dynamic to your roster, it's going to do wonders. If he was with the Miami Heat right now, somebody else that can go get a bucket and then create shots for his teammates. You see what I'm saying? So the Warriors are in a good spot. They're playing some of their best basketball of the season. Now, have they had a couple losses here and there? Dallas, Denver without Joker and Jamal Murray and Christian Braun. The Atlanta Hawks. Those are some bad losses, I would say, yes. But guess what? 15-3 with Jimmy Butler, that's pretty damn good. Like, you do the math on the winning percentage. 15-3. So you 12 games above 500 with Jimmy Butler in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? So, and the Warriors have a winning record without Steph Curry this year. Surprisingly, but they do. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of that came in, pre-Jimmy Butler era. You know what I mean? But they still have a winning record. You know what I mean? No matter who they play and the injury situation, that's a good sign. When your team can win without your best player, that's a great sign that, guess what? That shows that they're resilient. That shows that they're capable of being, relied on. They're dependable. You get what I'm saying? So when you get your star player back, it's just like, okay, we know that we can win without him. We just gonna just keep doing what we've been doing when that player comes back. So that's why I feel. And the Warriors play Oklahoma City very, very well. And I'm speaking of Oklahoma City because that appears to be the team to beat in the Western Conference, even though the defending Western Conference champions are the Dallas Mavericks. But we can sit here and honestly say that Dallas probably won't be repeating or going back to the NBA Finals, let alone making a damn play-in or the playoffs for that matter. So with all the things that has transpired with that organization, but we still got a good 3.5 weeks left of the season. So Dallas can damn sure, with the return of Anthony Davis and PJ Washington and getting Derek Lively and their front court players and Daniel Gafford, they can for damn sure, even though they lost Kyrie, they have players that they can do it by committee. You still get a star in Anthony Davis. You got solid role players. You got a 4-time NBA champion in Klay Thompson, who's a lights out catch and shoot 3-point shooter. You can make it tough on some people. You might not be able to get over the hump, but because you don't have that second, star, but you can get over the hump. You can make it very difficult with the size and the things that they, present on a defensive scale, on a defensive level. They can potentially, these last 2.5 weeks, they can potentially move up and try to at least get to an 8 seed, a 7 seed, if that. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens with that, though. But I think that Dallas they're building towards some greater, later, I would say. You feel me? So they'll be okay. But this is around the time where you want to play your best basketball. You feel me? I don't know what Steph Curry doing tonight. If he's a game time decision, I know they listed him as questionable. I don't know if that's been downgraded to out, upgraded to, probable or whatever. But the Warriors have a tough game tonight. Miami Heat, last game, Wiggins had 42 points. Wiggins was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for Wiggs. He's doing his thing. He's scoring. You know what I'm saying? He's giving them a punch. But I still feel that Miami is still missing something. I can't really pinpoint it, but I just think that it's some stuff going on in their front court. Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware. I feel like Khalil Ware is, Bam Adebayo's replacement. You know what I'm saying? Just like Bam Adebayo was the Hassan Whiteside's replacement when they gave Hassan Whiteside all that money and thought Hassan Whiteside was going to be the center of the future. So, and that didn't really turn out to be what they thought it would be. So, you know what I'm saying? I just think that Bam Adebayo's time in Miami is up. I don't know if he's going to pull off a Udonis Haslem for, the duration of his career. So we'll see what happens with that. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens with that. But come on, man. These people don't be knowing how to drive, man. Goodness gracious. Fuck. Excuse my French, y'all. But I feel like the Warriors are a little bit more destined and poised to make a run other than the Lakers. So if I had to choose, and not because I'm not a big Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves fans, bro. To be honest, I like the way we're trending. I like the way we're trending more than I like the way the Lakers are trending. I like our group of guys better than I like the Lakers group of guys because of the experience, and we're proven already. Luka's never won anything. Remember that. Jimmy Butler has neither, but Jimmy Butler's been to 2 finals. Luka's only been to 1. Or you can say Jimmy Butler went to 1.5 if you want to count the bubble as a half. Because it really wasn't no pressure, wasn't no fan base, so we could do that. You know what I'm saying? But Jimmy Butler still has more experience. I think Jimmy Butler has played in more meaningful games, playoffs, than Luka Doncic. I feel like Jimmy Butler's defense, you know what I'm saying, is better than Luka Doncic's defense. I feel like Jimmy Butler, the way he can control the game, I feel like it's better than Luka Doncic. I feel like Jimmy Butler is a better free throw shooter than Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jimmy Butler's tougher than Luka Doncic. Is Luka Doncic an all-around better scorer than Jimmy Butler? Yes. But guess what? It's okay. It's about matchups, bro. We've seen Luka have series where he really wasn't really playing that well, and his teammates picked him up. You know what I mean? So we've seen that. We've seen Jimmy Butler take his regular season stats and increase every statistical category once he gets to the playoffs. That's something that we know. We've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Multiple times. So I can trust that, you know, the Warriors can for sure make some noise in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm a fan, but I think the quest for 5, I think that the Warriors have a higher probability in achieving that than the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But the one key factor in doing so is going to be Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga, like Steve Kerr said, is going to have to figure it out. Now, I don't agree with how the Warriors develop talent. They cannot develop young talent at all. Jonathan Kuminga has a ton of talent. So I feel that it's Jimmy Buckets, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry's responsibility to help this young man kind of get over all of the noise that's surrounding, you know what I'm saying, his play and his expectations and everything. Allow Kuminga to be Kuminga. Allow Kuminga to play one-on-one at times, just like the Lakers and Orlando Magic allow Austin Reeves and Franz Wagner, you know what I'm saying, to play one-on-one. Let Jonathan Kuminga get into his bag sometimes, bro, and play one-on-one and go outside the confines of the offense. Because sometimes I think the offense dumbs him down. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think Jonathan Kuminga can be that player where you can go to and go get a bucket. Or he can get himself to the free throw line. Don't try to take away or change his game. Maximize his talent and what he does well. Don't try to take away and say, oh, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Because if you allow Jimmy Butler to shoot, you know what I'm saying, 7, 8 threes a game, and we know that that's not really the strong point of his game anymore like it was in Chicago and Minnesota, then allow Jonathan Kuminga to shoot some threes too then. If that's what your offense dictates or entails. You get what I'm saying? So our success is going to be contingent upon the back of Jonathan Kuminga and how well that he plays on both ends of the court. Now, my advice to Jonathan Kuminga, just play your game, post up a little more, less dribbling, because we know that when he dribbles in traffic, he has tendency to turn the ball over because his handle really isn't that strong. I don't know if it's anxiety once he gets, and he needs to slow down. Just relax, get to your spot, use your body. A little shoulder, create a little separation, and get to your mid-range game. You feel what I'm saying? You don't need to try to use your supreme athleticism all the time to try to get to the rim. It's okay to mix it up. When you need to use your, you know what I'm saying, your speed, athleticism to attack that rim, do so. But you can also use your size and your strength to create space and separation to get to a mid-range shot. Pump fake, maybe get somebody in the air, utilize the pump fake, still stay patient. Sometimes when he pump fake, he start getting rattled. Now his feet start getting happy, and that's when they start calling them travel calls. If you pump fake and the defense don't bite, it's okay. Use your reverse pivots, your inside pivots. You still got to pivot. And then just elevate. You can pump fake 2 or 3 times, and then on the 4th, 5th time, just elevate and get to your shot. You can do that. Why are you trying to get over right now? What the fuck are you doing? These people be dumb, man. It's tough when you drive on these highways and these truck drivers. This motherfucker getting over, you're supposed to be in the 3rd lane from the right. Why are you in the motherfucking down there in a fast lane, nigga? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Stupid, man. Oh man, y'all, this motherfucker, these people dumb, bro. I don't even know how you get jobs doing this shit, bro. You fucking retarded. But shit, that's that's what I think. That's my overview. You feel me? We only go so far as Kuminga gonna take us. I don't think that we can rely on Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody. Even Moses Moody can play a key role, you know what I'm saying? But still, we're gonna need the star power of one Jonathan Kuminga if we want to win a championship. If we can't get that star power from Jonathan Kuminga, that consistency, you know what I'm saying, that we're looking for at 15 to 20 points a game consistently every night, to where you feel like, man, they gonna have to game plan for Kuminga. If you ain't game plan for Kuminga, it's impossible for you to game plan for Jimmy Butler or Steph Curry. You have to pick your poison on that situation. So that's what I need for Kuminga to do. Play more in your mid-range. Less is more. Less dribbling. 2 or 3 dribbles. Get to your spot. Rise up. If you don't got it, pass it. Set a down pick. Then, you know what I'm saying, open up to the ball. Or, you know what I'm saying, keep moving, slashing, cutting, following the offensive rebounds, because he's a really good offensive rebound with his athleticism and quickness. I believe that Jonathan Kuminga averaged like 4 or 5 rebounds, offensive rebounds. If Jonathan Kuminga can average 4 or 5 rebounds without jumping, just think what that can do with what Jonathan Kuminga can do with his supreme athleticism. He can get 4 or 5 rebounds in his sleep offensively. So if he continue to stay locked in, don't worry about the outside noise. People always gonna have some judgment. They always gonna have something to say, no matter if it's positive, negative, whatever. Keep being aggressive and playing your game. Don't worry about your makes. Don't worry about your misses. You know what I'm saying? Just keep attacking. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that. But that's what I got. You know what I mean? So we got an important game tonight against Miami. So we're gonna have to make it happen. So that's that. Let's read some of these comments though, y'all. Salute A Heron, game day, you already know. Cheyenne, what's good, my God, man? Yes, sir. Yes, it is, Tim. Great point. Appreciate it, Tim Cannon. What about the Sacramento Kings making the playoff? Thanks. Hey, as far as the Sacramento Kings making the playoffs, bro, they're in a tough spot right now. They're kind of inconsistent. They're trying to figure out, Doug Christie is trying to put his imprint on that team, kind of like how he did in the old Sacramento days and his early Laker days. You know what I'm saying? And but I don't know if the players are really taking that level of accountability on the defensive end. Your best players are your worst defenders with Sacramento Kings. You know what I'm saying? So Domantas Sabonis just came back from another injury. He's not really a great defender. DeMar DeRozan isn't really a great defender. Malik Monk isn't really a great defender. Zach LaVine isn't really a great defender. So now you're relying on your role players and younger guys, the Devin Carters, you know what I'm saying? The Keegan Murrays. You feel what I'm saying? You still got Trey Lyles. You feel me? You got what's the other guy's name? Damn it, what's the guard's name, you guys, that lit the Warriors up with the dreads? Help me out. What's the dude's name with the dreads? Fuck, I don't know his name. I just seen him last night. Fuck. I can't even remember dude's name. Somebody help me out, bro. What's the guard name, bruh? For the sack, Keon Ellis. Thank you, Jay. Ellis. Yeah, so it's hard to rely on younger players, experienced players to be your better defenders. You will want that kind of leadership from your veterans. You want your veterans and your star players to be your better defenders, because now guess what? It makes everybody else want to play defense. That's the cool part about it. See, when your star players ain't working that hard on defense and there's a lot of holes in your defense, and you feel like the younger players the defenders are pulling more weight on that end of the side of the ball, at some point they're gonna be like, well, fuck it, if you're not playing defense, I'm not playing defense. You know what I'm saying? Salute to realty. If you're not playing defense, I'm not playing defense. And that's what we've seen, and that's why I say the Lakers, their star players don't defend. They more worried about offense, and they quick to hold somebody else accountable and blame somebody else for their lack of effort on that side of the ball. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say the Lakers, I can't really see them doing anything. Same thing with Sacramento Kings. If they can somehow get their best players to take pride in stopping their guys, then I think Sacramento can maybe limp into a playoff spot, but I don't really see it this year. So this will be 2 years that the Sacramento Kings are going to be in a play-in type situation. 2 straight years. We've seen what they did last year, you know what I'm saying? And now we're seeing what they're doing this year. It's just one of those things. You feel me? So they're going to have to, you know, make some decisions in the offseason. They're going to have to, you know, form an identity. They got to get some front court size, a rebounder, a shot blocker, somebody that kind of help Demonis, and Demonis can settle into that you know, that 4-man role, a 4-man position, and, you know, and that's just what it is. But their best players are going to have to guard people, bro. It always boils down to defense for me. I need my best players to be your better defenders. That's just what it is. If you want to win championships, bro, you have to give all out effort on that side of the ball. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Warriors have had so much success. Look, you think Steph Curry is really not a good defender? Steph Curry is a really good defender. Is he all defensive worthy? Maybe a third team, in my opinion. Maybe a third team. Definitely not a second or first team. But Steph Curry gives effort on that side of the ball. He just does. I've watched it way too many times. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't just look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry don't play no defense. You're a liar. Yes, he does play defense. Everybody gets scored on, but Steph Curry gives effort. Steph Curry can test shots, make some people miss. He gets deflections. He plays the passing lane. He plays good position defense. He's just undersized. If Steph Curry was 6'5", 6'4", you know what I'm saying? You'll be like, man, he's a really good defender. I'm just saying, he would. Think about it. He'll make all defensive teams. But the fact that he's small, it just be like, man, he don't really guard nobody. Because he might get scored on here and there, and people seek him out in the pick and roll. But that's fine. I done seen him hold his own in the pick and roll. Guarding players at 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", and that player don't score. You know what I'm saying? He contests, he holds his position well, and he challenges the shot, and we get a defensive rebound. That's called that's good defense. You know what I'm saying? So, or, you know, as long as you contesting and giving all out effort, that's all I ask for. But if you just letting people just blow past you, like, oh well, I'll just let my help, you know what I'm saying? I'll let it rely on him. That's terrible defense. And we see far too many star players play that kind of Ole defense. Luka, LeBron, the Joker, you feel me? All these players, like, you think that they're great players, but bro, you're not giving maximum effort on both sides of the ball. I can't respect that. That's just something, I can't respect that kind of player. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. But that's to answer that Sacramento question, Tim Cannon. Let me go. I'm going back to the top, bro. Going back to the top. What about the Sacramento Kings making the playoffs? Well, Cam, what's good, my guy? You okay? What's good with you, Brody? What it do? Count my mans out. We gunning. Yeah, y'all gunning for sure. I said that. Mojo, salute. I just want the Warriors to make the playoffs and have a chance. Yeah, we're going to be solid, Mojo. Don't trip on that. We're going to be solid, y'all. Prayers to Tatum for sure. Hey, how long is Tatum out? Did anybody get any kind of diagnosis? Tony Angel, what's good with you? Salute. Did anybody get any update on Tatum? Did they give an update on Tatum and, the extent of his injury? It looked bad yesterday, man. Domantas Sabonis, that was a Zaza Pachulia Kawhi Leonard moment. I'm not going to lie. That boy Domantas Sabonis slid right up under. Why would you, when a player does a step back, if you know you're not really a good defender and you don't have any kind of athleticism, why do you think you're going to be able to contest and block the shot? Just jump straight up and down and try to throw his concentration off by putting a hand up, waving a hand. But when you jump towards somebody, bro, try to jump to the side. But if you jump right in the middle of someone's landing spot, that's a dangerous play. Now, mind you, back in the day, we didn't see them plays happen all that often. And Jalen Rose even said he did that to Kobe on purpose. You know what I'm saying? But Kobe willed his way back. That was a bad ankle sprain, you know what I'm saying, in the finals. And that's how great Kobe was. Kobe said, man, okay, I'm going to take one game off. I'm going to come back and I'm going to help us win a chip. Don't even trip. So, it is what it is. Cheyenne said, this is why teams be blowing leads left and right consistently, because some of these players don't want to play hard once they have a comfortable lead. That's facts. That's facts. Salute, Cheyenne. Hey, Heron, we taking Elder's money tonight. We taking Elder's money tonight, nigga. But Elder didn't want to bet because he said, I need to see if Steph Curry playing, because he said he want to see if everybody is healthy. So it's no bet. Because, you know, Elder talks all that shit. He didn't want to bet none of them motherfucking game. He didn't want to bet that Orlando and Laker game, though. You remember when I said bet the Orlando and Laker game then, nigga. Bet the Chicago game. Scary. Talk all that shit. Nigga don't want to bet. Nigga always want to bet when they feel like they got an advantage. Niggas be straight scary, nigga. I'll bet anybody. I don't give a fuck about that shit. My only question with the Warriors, with can their bigs pick up the slack? Facts, bro. Like, I spoke on that a little bit. I'm just going back to the top of the comments so I acknowledge everybody. I like to acknowledge all my people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I appreciate y'all for being in the building anyway. Y'all don't even have to be in the building, but if you come in and show me love, bro, I'm for sure gonna give you some acknowledgement. It'd be different if I was on what's the name, then I can invite people to the stage, but this is just a regular YouTube, you know what I'm saying, live. It's not through StreamYard or anything like that, so my bad. Y'all know how I get down. I got Draymond winning defensive player of the year. I got Draymond should win defensive player. Draymond should really have all of Rudy Gobert's motherfucking awards. I'm just saying, bro. Let's just be honest. Draymond should have all that nigga awards. Nigga, Draymond is a way better defender than motherfucking Rudy Gobert. Nigga, what are you talking about? The hell is the NBA be doing that political shit, my nigga? Oh, man, stop it. Rudy Gobert is a dump truck. Nigga just tall. Nigga, you should be in the NBA, nigga, catching alley-oops, weak ass, nigga. You should have a way more polished game, too, given the fact that you're an overseas player. Because, you know, overseas players have basic fundamentals. He don't even have fundamentals. That nigga is trash cans. Get him out of here, coach. Dyson Daniels should win defense. Dyson Daniels should win defense. Dyson Daniels is a damn good defender. I ain't gonna lie. That young man, I don't know what the hell, what's the name, was thinking. What's that? New Orleans? I'm just saying, bro, sometimes you be thinking player, you be like, man, oh, this a star, this a big name. Big names don't necessarily mean that it's the right move to make, though. Just because you got a big name, that don't mean that other players can't have impact on helping you win a chip, though. If you're looking long term, I love Dyson Daniels' upside, because guess what? He can get better. Now, if I'm looking at DeJounte Murray, we've seen... my shit didn't went all bad. My bad, y'all. My phone died on me, man. I was right in the middle of reading all my shit. Oh, man. So, that's a national one, yeah. Big men get healthy. I love our chance. We need to sign B. Will and Brian, Kai Jones, and Spence. They're playing very well for us. Yeah, that's true. Andrew Wiggins went off last game. Yeah, he did. Najee been balling out of control. Yeah. Curry out tonight. I got Jimmy dropping 35 to 40 points tonight, Cheyenne. I heard the man trying to sign KD, Keon Ellis, salute, Leezy. Yeah. The Suns, hello, yeah, they is. Jamie, salute, Jamie. Facts, especially my boy Malik. He gotta get better on the defensive end. Yeah, he do. Salute, Leezy and Chad T. Sledge, what's good? Everyone hit that like button, yes, sir. What's up, channel? Remember Steph limiting Westbrook field percentage in the last 3 games of the 2016
President Collins when they made a 3-1 comeback. Yep, T. Sledge Curry has out rebounded the centers and will pick pockets if you sleep with the ball. They disrespect Steph too much. Yeah, that's facts. Salute T fan, T Sledge can. He most likely got a sprained ankle, yeah. I hate that for JT too. He one of my young favorite players. Yep. Oaktown, salute. Oaktown was good. My bad, y'all. My motherfucking phone died. My shit still hella low though. I might try to do the game tonight though, but we'll see. I know I only got a little bit of time though. Wifey talking about what she want to eat for dinner, so it's Taco Tuesday. So we'll see. Oaktown, my guy, man, in the building. Oaktown, what's good with you, man? Hope everything's solid. Salute, Oaktown. What's up, Alex? Yup. My bad, y'all. I was hella weak, bro. My shit died right when I was in the middle of my thing. Yep, but you know, Curry out tonight, so we'll see what happens with that, though. I got Kuminga and GP2 coming up big for us tonight. I got Kuminga and GP2 coming up big for us tonight. So we're going to see what happens with that, though. But I don't think Jimmy Butler is really trying to send a message. I think Jimmy Butler, most importantly, just wants to win. So Jimmy Butler is going to do what he normally does. I know that Miami's probably don't allow Jimmy Butler to get to the free throw line. But I think you're going to get a steady dose of Jimmy Butler's all-around floor game. His players involved, his intensity, locking up on the defensive end, rebounding the ball really, really well. I expect that Jonathan Kuminga and GP2 to have really good games tonight. We'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a tough game, though. This is a tough game, but I expect the Warriors to be locked in. No Steph. You know what I'm saying? We don't lose 2 in a row out. I heard that. We've been playing too well as of recent to just squander another game. And I just believe that Atlanta Hawks are a little bit better as far as their team. I'm going to end the live. I appreciate everybody for rocking with your boy. Like, share, subscribe. You already know what it is. It's the real E-Leezy. I might see y'all for the game. I might. But salute to y'all. Appreciate everybody.